What's going on, fellas, and welcome back to the Director of Football Journeyman with supporting Cristal on Football Manager 2020 with me, Foggy Plays. Today we're taking on Deportivo Pasto in both legs in the third round of the Copa Sudamerica. Form's been interesting. We have had a couple of transfers, if I'm not mistaken. Carlos Garcia is off to Jose Galvez in the Peruvian second division in January. Never going to get a game for us, so I had no problem with him leaving. So the Director of Football managed to make a tidy little bit of profit off him. We're selling him for 90k. I'll check that in a second. So since you were here last, we brought in a new left back, Carlos Soto, who is so. Did you see what I did there? Did you see what I did? Yeah. We brought him in from Bolognese, who are a non-league Peruvian side. Played twice for us so far. Played against his former club in the cup thing. We paid 25.5k for him. It's not a terrible amount of money to spend on a left back, I guess, when we didn't have a good left back. Bustamante was not the one. Bustamante was not the player that we wanted. Not the player we needed at the time. But, you know, then we also signed Aldo Guzman from Universidad San Martin de Porres. He is a Peruvian striker, 18 years old. He was in pretty decent form for them before we took him on loan. I'm not sure why they've loaned him out. He's playing regularly enough for them. But we have him. Played twice. He's unregistered for today's games because he signed the day after the registration for this round was the thing. He hasn't scored yet for us, but we're getting there. James Gomez almost left as well to, I think it was a Saudi team offered to buy him. And he rejected it, but also rejected a new contract that was offered to him and then signed a new contract after that. So we'll show you that in just a second. We did also sign Sebastian Andrade from Universidad Cesar Vallejo, 105k. He's a DM/right back. I'm not sure why the Director of Football paid so much for him. He's like, alright, so we go for DMs. He is 9th best. Right backs, where would you be in terms of right backs? 7th best right back. So we've spent a lot of money on a player that's probably not going to play a lot of games for this season, at least. Anyway, so we're gonna have to, put up with that. We only got rid of one player, I think. Yeah, Italo Paredes, who has gone off to Universidad Tecnia de Cajamarca for 10k. I think his contract was running out, and a club came in and said, "Here, we'll give you 10k." And the Director of Football was like, "Yes, okay." We were going to be paying his wages until January. Yeah, it would have been the end of December when his contract ran out. So getting money for a player that we had no intention on playing, and by the looks of it, had no intention on offering a new contract to, more than happy to accept that. As I said, Carlos Garcia, we did make a tidy bit of profit off him. We signed him for 68k, selling him for the bones of 90. Never played a game. I don't think he actually, never come off, never even made the bench for us. I think he was on the bench once, possibly. In terms then of James Gomez, as I said, there was an offer for him, was rejected, was his original release clause. The Director of Football signed him, gave him the exact same release clause, but he added an extra year to his deal. No, we offered him a contract and it said that he accepted it. He was offered a contract and it said he accepted. Okay, so, yeah, no. Maybe he just gave me, maybe there was like a year extension, but his contract wasn't running out. I'm not sure. James Gomez is still here. That's the main thing. Games since you were here last, which would have been against Deportivo Lara, we went and beat Binacanol 3-1. Felitas Delitas Alzamora and James Gomez all got the goals for us. Harold Guzman. Why does that name sound familiar? Oh, because it's just because you scored again. Okay, that's fine. Then we went and drew, really unfortunately, with Union Hural. James Gomez scoring in that game again. Then we beat Sport Rosario in the Copa Bicentenario Group E. Felitas Delitas, Riviera, and James Gomez all getting goals in that. Then against Real Garclaso, we lost 1-0, which was disappointing. But then we beat Bolognese. The Avocado scored twice, both from corners, both headers. So that was delightful. We qualified from our group. We did second in the group, which is more than enough. We also finished fourth overall in the opening stage. Union Horjal had 3 points deducted for not fielding enough under 20 or under 22 players. I don't know which one, it doesn't say. But they were docked 3 points, which makes our draw with them even more annoying because they're terrible. Then the closing stage started. We beat Real Garclaso 4-3. This was a bit of a squeaky bum time because it was 4-1 at half time. They just came back and decided in the last 10 minutes or so they wanted to play football. And I almost pooped my pants. But we ended up coming out James Gomez Castillo with a penalty, Gutierrez and Kevin Moran all scoring, as I said, before halftime. Then against Cantoleo, 0-0. We just weren't great. Just really weren't great. Deportivo Pasto are from Colombia. Surprisingly, never heard of them. Managed in Colombia, don't know who they are. Closing stage, so far we're currently sitting in fourth. We have only played 2 games so far, so that is obviously not something we're going to worry about too much right now. For this game, though, we are going to start with Neira in goal. We have Ruiz and Soto playing as our wingbacks, Gutierrez and the Avocado in central defence, Polo and Castillo in central midfield with Morin and Alzamora as our wide men, Andreas Rojas and James Gomez starting up front. As I said, a couple of players are unregistered. Andrade can't be registered because he signed too recently, and Guzman can't be registered because he signed the day after the registration for this round was done. So we do need to beat this Colombian team for Guzman to get an opportunity to play in the Copa Sudamerica at some point this very season. And that is what we want. We want to play Guzman. Well, he's playing up front in the league anyway because he's a good player. He's attribute wise, he's one of our best players up front. Not as good as James Gomez though. So I'm starting to think that James Gomez is probably better as the striker than he was when we played him in the attacking midfield position. That false 9 position seems to suit him really rather well. And since he's been playing there that bit more recently, his knowledge of the position or the coaches think he can play it better now. So it's quite good. Kevin Moran grazes the bar after James's beautiful run. I did when I joined, I did consider James Gomez as like an attack-minded central midfielder. I'm kind of glad I didn't do that now, because I feel like that would have kind of ruined his potency up front. And that was just a terrible, terrible pass by Rojas. But yeah, it's been interesting. We've been on a decent run lately, so you know, just there. Yeah, we've been all right. We've been fine. But we've definitely struggled with that left back because Soto, since he joined, yes, he is an out and out left back. He's still not very good, so that's less than ideal. But Kevin Moran has picked up the terrible clearance by their keeper, and he's boshed it into the back of the net. He has definitely cemented himself as the starting right winger, because there was that what's his name? There was Willie something or other. William Muniz was a player I looked at and thought, well, he's younger, got slightly better potential, and he'd give us minutes added to our allotment of time you have to play players that are under 22 and under 20. But how do you not play Kevin Moran He's been in fantastic form. That wasn't a great pass with Polo. He's been complaining we're not getting in a first team football. Passes like that, I don't think he deserves first team football. He's still getting it because Gillespie hasn't fully recovered from his broken ankle. Was it? Was it a broken ankle? I think it was broken ankle. It's been so long now. I don't really remember. And that other guy we signed from that Portuguese team, was it Academica? He was recalled because he didn't play a single game. And I told their manager, recall him. I have no interest in playing him because he came to me and said, "Oh, I want to have a meeting with you." So he it took him like 2 weeks after I said that for him to take him. And Miguel Castillo, back to business, lads. We're back to business. Miguel Castillo, just what Castillo does. Picks it up, middle of the park, turns, and bish bash, back of the net. Get in. I'm going to say I'm far from happy. Gutierrez. We've not had too many corners or free kicks, so you've not really had a chance to see the Avocado and Gutierrez duking it out for who's going to be the one to score, because they have been in really rather good form when they're going up for corners. But that was a well worked free kick by Deportivo Pasto, which kind of surprised our defence wasn't alive to the situation. The fact this guy was left standing here by himself when, let me select him. I want to point blame at someone. I think that was Gutierrez. Maybe Gutierrez was the one at fault for that. We're gonna make change. Polo, you're shocking at football. Gonna bring on Rendon, but make him a box to box. Soto is playing terribly. We're gonna bring on Herdovo. Alzamora is also struggling. We're going to leave him on for now because I don't want to make all my substitutions at once. I feel like that's a bad idea. Because, injuries, sending offs and all that. I don't want to be stuck with a team that needs change, because if a centre back gets sent off, then we're screwed. Are we? No, we wouldn't be, because our left back can play centre back. And then we could just move Alzamora back to left back and be like, tough. And then we suppose we could bring on a left back then. Or we have a centre back. We have a couple of centre backs on the bench probably. But anyway, Castillo gets the ball forward. Kevin Moran with his second of the game. It's 3-1. Kevin Moran brace. Castillo scoring. Castillo setting that one up. Castillo is an amazing player. I feel like he's going to be the one that my director of football is just going to keep. If we move again, I think if it's in South America, I think Castillo's probably going to end up just following us, because that seems to be what our director of football's been doing since Gerardo Parento. Bringing him in, he was fantastic at Gerardo Parento. Came with us here, and he's been fantastic here. And what was the keeper doing? Neira jumped in the wrong direction. It's like he wanted to get away from that ball. I have an itchy schnoz. Alright, we're going to make that change. Alzamora, you're not playing all that well. So we're going to go on Riviera, but make you inverted winger on attack. I was going to change Moran to be more attacking, but he scored twice as a support. I don't really think there's a need to change, and they've hit the post again. At least this time Neira jumped in the correct direction. Cordova with the long throw. Can't find no Rojas, but Castillo has the ball in his favourite position. Kind of run the wrong way and then pass it to Ruiz. Terrible attempt at a cross, but Castillo picks back up. Ruiz again fails with the cross. Maybe it was Ruiz the one that was completely atrocious for that lack of marking for that free kick that they scored. But we're still, regardless of what's going on, 3-1 up. Moran has got himself a brace. Castillo's now got himself a nice little booking. And somehow, they've not scored again. We are living on the edge. And I am not going to change it. I enjoy being on the edge. James Gomez, playing a 6.7 today, has really not been involved. Just surprising, because he's normally the one that's doing everything. But Rojas is going to take the free kick, and he puts it in the top corner. 4-1 on the night. I think we can safely say we're probably going to win this game. Let's hope we can do it again in the second leg and make it to the next round of the Copa Sudamerica, which, as everyone knows, is the one you want to win in South America. Nobody wants to win that stupid Copa Libertadores. Copa Libertadores. Why would you want to win the Copa Libertadores? Nobody wants to win that. Only poor bees win Copa Libertadores. Until next year, when we want to win the Copa Libertadores, that would be fantastic. Yeah, Rojas has now gone 10 games without scoring. Classy Moran, get in there. Kevin Moran, are you completely Peruvian? You are. Fair enough. Right, we will be back. We're going to skip the game in between, which is against Juan Aurich. We're going to come back for the second leg against Deportivo Pasto in but a moment. So sit tight. We'll be back for that in just a second. Right, friends, back now for the second leg against Deportivo Pasto. And 4-1 up from the first leg. We should walk this. This should be quite an easy game. The game in between against Juan Aurich ended 2-0. Miguel Castillo and the Avocado scoring. I did, however, forget to rest my players. So there wasn't a whole lot of time in between the games. So some of our players are a little on the tired side. Castillo is going to play the game, even though he's on 87%. But we're giving Gutierrez, Ruiz, the Avocado is going to sit this one out as well. He's going to just sit this out completely, actually. Is that a good idea? Yeah. So we're going to start with Neira in goal because he's been in really good form recently. Valencia and Soto as our wingbacks. Velasquez and Cordova starting at centre-back. Rendon and Castillo in centre midfield. Morin and Riviera as our wideman because Altamora was just horrendous in the last leg. Riviera played in the last game and he was far more involved. Felitas up front with James Gomez alongside because James Gomez has every opportunity to score a goal. And when he gets an opportunity to score a goal, like I'm going to say 70% of the time, it goes into the back of the net. They've changed their formation for this game. Interesting. Let's see if that works out for them. The assistant manager asked him to do something. And he's just like, I don't know how. I don't know how to tell the players to do stuff because I don't speak football. It's not a language he understands, unfortunately. There was something came up in the articles in between, and anybody who's been here since our time in Europe may remember Stefan Bamba. Did I change? No. What is it? So strange. Oh, it's probably their stadium actually. Against from our time at Ghent, Stefan Bamba, who was a right winger we had, he is playing in Colombia. Just let me know that he was transferring or possibly being transferred from one club to another. But after his time with us, he went off and played in the Ivory Coast for a while. Had a couple of seasons, or 4 seasons in Ivory Coast, and then joined some random Colombian team. So when I saw that name, I was like, who? And then it popped up and I was like, that guy. The guy I said constantly was going, no, he was a left winger, wasn't he? Bamba. I think he was the left winger. But anyway, yeah, for years I remember saying he was going to be fantastic, and he never was. Never did it for us, unfortunately for him. But in this game, we're almost 20 minutes in, and James Gomez gets the ball taken off his foot. Second opportunity, I think he was offside. No, he was not. That was quite unfortunate because had he scored, I would have been able to say, see, he gets a chance at goal, scores. That time he didn't actually get a shot off, so technically he didn't take a shot. So it's not, he didn't miss. We are being a somewhat dominant. Ooh, that was closer than I would have liked. We are playing quite poorly. Our front four not having a great time of it. But Velasquez says not today and stops their chance. Valencia, who hasn't played an awful lot of football this year, Ruiz has really taken control of the right back position, which is why I find it strange. Oh, Moran, what a goal! Deletus with an interesting pass, but 1-up on the night, 5-1 on aggregate. We have nullified their away goal now. Ruiz has just dominated the right back position. The fact that the director of football seems adamant to just keep signing more right backs doesn't make sense when we have like 2 left backs. One of them is terrible and the other one is old and not great. And then we have like 7 or 8 left back or right backs. Just there's something about Navarro has scored 1 that makes it 5-2 on aggregate. The fact that there's something about directors of football not really enjoying signing left backs until one transfer window, and they just sign like 9. They're just like, yeah, we're just going to buy all the left backs in the world, and you're going to have to figure out how to get them all to play. Enjoy. Because that's what happened at Ghent when we signed, was it 3 left backs in one transfer window? Very annoying because you're sitting there going, well, how am I supposed to fit all these left backs in together? And speaking of left back, Soto playing terribly again, as always. Valencia, to be fair, his first start of the season for us, and I'm giving out to him because he's not playing well enough. But then again, he's not doing it. James Gomez, you're also not having a great game. We're going to leave the substitutions for now. We don't really need to make any. Soto probably does need to come off at some point. Riviera is a bit tired as Moran is shattered, but he is too important to take off. Neira's having a good game, even though he's conceded. Still playing a 7. Their striker's on an 8.3. He has been heavily involved in the highlights we've seen. So it kind of makes sense that he'd have one of the highest ratings. Soto and Castillo. Castillo can't find Jimenez. No. Gomez. Jimenez was their player. And they've managed to split our defence, but Neira does what Neira does, manages to pick the ball up. We are literally dying in central midfield here. We're going to bring on Rojas. Gillespie is back from his injury, but I'm not going to bring him on just yet. I'm going to bring on Diego Gomez, make him an inside forward on the left. Soto is probably the next one to come off. I don't want to make that change just yet. Might give him another like 5 minutes. I'm going to ask for a bit of passion because we're not really being a passionate football team today. Navarro just jukes the keeper. Neira never stood a chance there. He's not the best goalkeeper in the world, and I don't want to watch that highlight again. Valencia, long throw, doesn't find anybody, but Valencia picks it back up, which he gets to James Gomez. Rojas, Gomez, James Gomez, slots a past their keeper. 6-3 on aggregate. Now, Moran is definitely the tiredest player on the pitch, but we're not going to bring him on because that will be clever. We're going to move Dominic Cordova to centre back, move other Cordova to left back, and we are going to just leave it at that. So that is all our substitutions. So all of our substitutions, all on the left side, left back, left central midfielder, left winger, all making changes. Even though our right wing is the tiredest position on the pitch. Our defence has been split again, and Neira this time makes a save because it wasn't Navarro who took it. Navarro was their cheat code, and he was unfortunately unable to make it, or he wasn't involved there. It was Paez, Paez, P-A-E-Z. I'm going to say it's Paez. Navarro is through again, so we're after scoring for their 3rd goal. So we have 10 minutes now where we cannot concede 2 more goals. We let them have 1. We lose 4-2. You know, we're nice like that. We'll just give them 1 Interesting, our centre backs are both having decent games, even though we've conceded three goals, and the goalkeeper had a decent game. Our fullbacks were the ones that were struggling. Valencia and Soto both playing below average. I was going to say that was a bit of a let off. I'm going to give out to. I'm going to tell Valencia she should have been better. Same with Riviera. He let himself down, and Soto performance was abysmal. Terrible. We've gone through 6-4 on aggregate. That's all that matters. When is the next round draw? I am curious. Not going to be right now anyway, because we need to go to rules. Quarterfinal. Ooh. The draw's in 2 days. So the next episode is going to be a surprise. Who are we going to be playing? You're not going to find out until the next episode, which isn't actually that far away. It's going to be Lima and the second leg of the quarterfinal. Whoever it may be, that's going to be the next episode, because Alianza Lima, still one of the best teams in Peru. If we can make it to the next round of this, to the America, that would be, or past the quarterfinals, that would be fantastic. Because recently it's only really been, what country is independent? Colombian side won it 2 years ago. The Chilean side the year before, but it's been mostly Brazilian teams winning it. Yeah, it's been a lot of 2022, an Argentinian team won it. Yeah, this is basically a Brazilian competition with like a Colombian, Chilean. Yeah, Católica, that's Chile. Yeah, Chile. So yeah, could we be the first Peruvian team to win the trophy since at least 2015, when Independiente Santa Fe won it? So we'll be, as I said, back in the next episode to face Alianza Lima and whoever we're playing in the quarterfinal, which should be an interesting one. Quarterfinal. Don't think that was expected of us. What was actually expected in... No, wrong one. This one. The student market, we've already reached what was expected of us. Qualified through this round. And delighted that we could be on the verge of qualifying for Copa Libertadores much earlier than expected. That would be delightful. Thank you very much for watching, fellas. If you have enjoyed, please do make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Share with all your friends. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.